There is a reason there is a pseudoscience called Keynesian economics that's infiltrated all modern universities, funded by central banks, and its exclusive purpose is to justify the printing of money and the legal monopoly, right? It's a very perverse cycle because you get a system that can steal funds from people, and then you use the stolen funds to fund university curricula that
So that people
justify
don't get confused, it steals buying power.
purchasing power. That's the only power that really matters in
Yeah,
an
but I think
economy.
people get lost in that because they're like, nobody's stealing money from me. I deposited $100. I still have $100.
Well,
other
the
than
price
tax.
of beef has gone up 50% in the past 24 months. So if you're a beef eater, you've been stolen from by 50%. And
It's easy to get people to understand tax is theft. It's more complex. But anyway, as long
Yes.
as we're in agreement that they're stealing via buying power,
yes,
I'm with you.
stealing purchasing power. That's right. So you are correct. However, I would like to take it a step further because what we're saying here is that when we print money, again, that's the point I cannot overemphasize, you are only violating individual private property rights. You are disturbing my power to control the assets that I otherwise could, right? And this comes in the form of price inflation, right? If I'm a steak eater and I've saved up to buy 2 years of steak and the price of steak goes up 40% because the central bank printed money, well, they've stolen steak from me effectively, right?
Or a house, which is something
Or
a lot of people are complaining
insert your
about right
favorite
now.
asset here. I'm just picking steak because I'm a steak eater. So that is all well and good. It's incentivizing all the negative things you highlighted, right? Overconsumption rather than investment, overutilization of assets rather than preservation of capital, because there's a deeper reason there, but let's just leave it at that. And then misallocation of capital. So
Because governments suck at using my money.
yeah, it disturbs what's called the price signal. So you could basically think that the configuration of consumer preferences is always changing in the world. People always want different stuff all the time. The production structure is constantly trying to adapt and map on to that new configuration of consumer wishes, right? It's trying to satisfy consumer wants or consumer wishes. The degree to which you socialize property or violate property or steal, it inhibits the ability of the production structure to adapt. So you get misallocation of capital. This leads to a lot of waste and stuff in the world. But as bad as all those things are, the point that I really find deeply fascinating and whose work I'm drawing on here is, it's a book titled A Theory of Socialism and Capitalism by Hoppe. It's a very dense book, but it is deduced, right? He's deduced, this isn't an observation of economic history and reading someone's opinion. These are deductions from economic axioms. So it's hard to read, but the insights you gain are extremely powerful. There's a fourth consequence to the violation of private property or the socialization of property. And that is that you have now stopped, the degree to which you're violating property is the degree to which you are not rewarding productive members of society. And you are rewarding political actors in society. People that are, and I've said this before, the legislator's pen cannot create wealth, it can only reallocate wealth. So the degree to which a legislator can become wealthy at the stroke of a proverbial pen, which is the passing of laws, policy, etc., there is an incentive to shift from a productive role in society to this non-productive, extractive role. And the degree to which that becomes larger is the degree to which more people are drawn into non-productive roles. So what you're saying is there's a non-producer, right? We're rewarding non-productive activities when we print money or when we confiscate property in any way. So the thing that I'm fascinated with here is this money being such a fundamental technology to human affairs. It's used to hide the widest spread violation of private property rights we've ever seen through this global concerted action of central banks or semi-concerted action. They're all inflating their currencies. People that are on the ground saving are being taxed through this scheme. We are effectively, through the corruption of this economic fabric we call money, we're actually corrupting our own individual character development. That now people coming into the world that might otherwise be a baker or an engineer or some productive activity might instead choose to go over here and be a statesman or a politician or some other extractive role. And the degree to which we're violating property in that monetary system is the degree to which they're incentivized to take on political roles rather than productive roles. Such that the corruption of this technology that's so fundamental to our human being leads to the corruption of our character and the corruption of who we are. It's like a breakdown or corrosion of the moral composition of society through the debasement of currency and the violation of property. That's what I'm deeply fascinated by, and hopefully talking about and helping spread awareness about to prevent.